Have you ever wondered why your life still hasn't changed? It's not for lack of information. We've never had so much knowledge at our fingertips. It's not because you don't want it. You do. You feel it deep in your chest. That desire to change everything. But between wanting and doing, there's a gap, and that gap has a name: incomplete conviction. You haven't changed because there's still doubt inside you. Doubt disguised as logic. Doubt dressed up as procrastination. Doubt that shows up as waiting for the right moment. But listen closely. The right moment never comes. You're the one who has to become the right person. You're not bound by chains. You're bound by invisible beliefs. And the most dangerous ones are those you don't even realize you carry. Since childhood, you've been programmed to settle, to accept good enough, to get comfortable in the uncomfortable mediocrity. Meanwhile, the dreams that once made your heart race when you were younger are withering, waiting for you to wake up. You know what the truth is? You're not tired of life. You're tired of living below what you were born to be. You feel like you were made for more because you were. But your life only changes when your identity changes. And identity is not what you say you are. Identity is what you accept every single day. If you want to know why your life hasn't changed yet, look at the silent decisions you make in the shadows. Look at how you behave when no one's watching. Look at the commitments you abandon the moment things get uncomfortable. You want change? Then prepare for confrontation. You'll have to confront everything that brought you to this point. Success doesn't walk through the front door on a red carpet. It demands that you tear down inner walls, face unresolved trauma, and silence the voices of the past still screaming inside your mind. That's why so many people give up. Not because they're weak, but because they never understood that the first war isn't against the world. It's against yourself. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. 1,000 times. You know why? Because he had already decided he would be the man who brought light to the world. The decision came before the success. His identity was sealed before the result showed up. And you? Have you already decided who you're going to be? Or are you still waiting for results to believe? That's the reason your life hasn't changed yet. You're waiting for proof before having faith. But the world doesn't work that way. Faith comes first. The decision comes first. Identity comes first. Stop trying to change your results without changing your roots. You don't harvest apples from an orange tree. Change your roots. Change the way you see yourself. Because until you see yourself as someone disciplined, committed, and unstoppable, you'll keep living like someone ordinary. The world already has too many ordinary people. The world needs you, your purpose, your light. But you'll only be able to share it once you stop pretending to be someone you're not. You weren't born to survive. You were born to transcend. The problem is that you have a powerful mind living under weak commands. You have a restless soul trapped in a shallow routine. But pay attention. This isn't about temporary motivation. It's about daily decision. It's about facing the mirror and saying, from today on, I lead my life. I take ownership of my story. I write my future with blood, sweat, and faith. You don't need the world to change. You need to change the way you react to the world. Life tests those who are ready. And if you're hearing this, it's because, on some level, you're ready to break through. Ready to stop being a spectator of your own existence. Have you noticed the same patterns repeating in your life? Same frustrations? Same mistakes? Same cycles of excitement and downfall? That's not bad luck. That's programming. You're operating on the same emotional operating system you had years ago. And what got you here won't take you to the next level. Your system needs to be rewritten. And the code for the new version starts with 3 words. I decide today. You decide to wake up early even when your body begs for 15 more minutes. You decide to rise even after the fall. You decide to stop justifying the lack of results with excuses that not even you believe anymore. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they have too many excuses. And no excuse is strong enough to sustain a small life. Be radical with your excuses. Be ruthless with your old patterns, because you either live as a victim of circumstances or as the author of your destiny. Never both. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your life hasn't changed because deep down, you believe it's not possible, that it's too late, that something's missing, that someone should come save you, but no one's coming. You are the only one responsible for your breakthrough, and that's not bad news. It's the best news in the world, because if it depends on you, then nothing can stop you. You don't need permission to change your life, you need courage. And courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward even while trembling inside. The reason most people never get there isn't a lack of ability. It's a lack of intensity, clarity, direction, focus without distraction. We live in an era where everyone wants everything, but no one wants to pay the price for anything. But the universe doesn't respond to lukewarm desires. It responds to non-negotiable decisions. You have to choose. Either you distract yourself, or you develop yourself. Either you feed your excuses or you feed your faith. The choice is yours. It always was. It always will be. You know, Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked creativity. Just imagine, the man who built an empire of imagination being rejected for not being creative. But he believed in something bigger than other people's opinions. He believed in the invisible, and that's what you need to recover, the ability to believe in what you can't yet see. You don't change your life by trying to change the world out there, but the secret lies in what happens in here. Your mind is the soil. Your words are the seeds. Your actions are the water. And like any crop, the harvest comes later. The result comes after. The work is now. You haven't changed yet because you planted in a hurry and tried to harvest with anxiety. But success is not a microwave. Success is farming. It's time. It's process. It's patience with intense action. Every master was once a beginner. Every millionaire once felt lost. Every strong person was once weak. And every version of you that you dream of being already exists within you, waiting to be awakened. But it won't wake up with soft words. It will wake up with fire. You need to spark that fire. You need to wake up with purpose, live with presence, go to sleep with pride. Not pride from perfection, but from progress. Do you remember the first time you believed it was possible? Maybe it was a childhood dream, a wild idea, a vision that made your eyes shine. Then life happened. Responsibilities came, disappointments, failures, and you started negotiating with your dreams. But listen, the price of settling is eternal frustration. Life is hard, but it's not unfair. It only gives back what you insist on delivering. The reason your life hasn't changed yet is because you still haven't defined what life change means to you. You're chasing a vague image of success, an edited photo, a shallow comparison, a model that isn't yours. But there's only one kind of success that's worth it, the one aligned with who you were born to be. Stop chasing goals that don't belong to you. Stop trying to win in someone else's game. Build your own field. Write your own rules. And do you know what rule number 1 is? Discipline over motivation. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is structure. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. That's why great men and women in history, like Abraham Lincoln, who faced years of political failure before becoming president, didn't give up. They were driven by something greater than emotion. They were driven by mission. And if you haven't changed your life yet, maybe it's because you haven't defined your mission. You're not here just to pay bills and wait for the weekend. You're here to expand, to serve, to create, to evolve. You need to stop living like someone who survives and start living like someone who leads their own destiny. You need to look in the mirror and see more than a tired body. You need to see a ready spirit, a wounded warrior still standing, a leader on the battlefield of their own existence. Don't wait any longer. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Next week is not a promise. The time is now. The battlefield is the present. And the only weapon you need is decision. Stop asking permission from the past. Your future doesn't need your history's approval. Who you were is gone. Who you are is under construction. Who you will be depends on the decisions you make today. You need to wake up every day with one simple question. Who do I need to become to honor the life I want to live? That question has power because it pulls you out of autopilot. It puts you in control. It demands posture, vision, presence. You don't change your life by wanting more. You change your life by becoming more. You need to learn to live as if your life depends on it. Because it does. You need to love the process. You need to find beauty in effort, joy in the pain that builds, strength in sacrifice. Be the kind of person others can't ignore. Not for what you have, but for who you've become. The reason your life hasn't changed yet is simple. You still haven't committed to your own growth as your top priority. You still put others first. You put fear before movement. You put comfort before mission. But that order needs to be broken. From now on, your mission comes first. Your growth comes first. Your purpose leads. And everything that no longer serves gets left behind. Because there's no room for the old you in the new life that's coming. You can't be born again with the same old mindset. You need a baptism of conviction. You need to drown the old you in the waters of radical decision and emerge as someone who won't settle for anything less than what they were created to be. Because at the end of the day, it's not about luck. It's about identity. Life doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you believe you deserve. So the real question isn't, why hasn't my life changed? The real question is, who am I still refusing to become? That question hurts, but it heals. It reveals everything you've been avoiding. You want success, but still self-sabotage. You want wealth, but are afraid to lose. You want growth, but keep holding on to the comfortable, domesticated, and limited version of yourself. You weren't born to be limited. You were born to be light, to be strength, to be influence. But influence requires inner integrity, and that starts with self-awareness. You need to know your patterns before you can overcome them. Stop making the same decisions while expecting a different outcome. Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's exactly what so many people do with their own lives. They complain about the same place but never draw a new map. They feel stuck, but refuse to break the chains of their comfort zone. But listen closely. The comfort zone is a prison with pillows. Comfortable on the outside, destructive on the inside. That's where dreams die. That's where talents rust. That's where potential lies asleep, waiting for a scream of enough that never comes. Until now. Because if you're hearing this, it's because life is calling you out of the shallow. It's calling you into deep waters, to where few dare to go, to where only those who are willing to pay the price of greatness go. You need to break free. Break free from your excuses. Break free from your limiting narratives. Break free from everything that's keeping you from moving toward your calling. And the calling is clear. Live with purpose or die with regret. You can't keep living waiting for motivation to show up. It won't come every day, but the pain of stagnation will be there, staring you in the face, reminding you that time waits for no one. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." That's the power of belief. It's the master code of your reality. And you haven't changed your life yet because your belief hasn't changed. You still see success as something distant, exclusive, almost impossible. But listen closely. Success is not a private club. It's an identity decision. You only access the next level when you decide you belong there. Not when everything is ready. Not when you get approval. But when you look in the mirror and say, "That's it. I'm not going back to the weak version of me." This is the turning point. This is where the inner warrior rises. This is where you stop being a victim and become a creator. From here on, you stop asking, "What if it goes wrong?" and start asking, "What if it goes right?" What if I really was born for this? What if everything I've lived until now was just preparation for my greatest rise? Because it was. That's exactly what it was. The pain prepared you. The scarcity taught you. The rejection strengthened you. Every fall was a brick. Every tear was a baptism. Every failure was a reminder that you're still alive and still have a choice. And do you know what the real miracle of change is? It's not what you achieve on the outside. It's who you become on the inside. It's the character you build. It's the courage you activate. It's the integrity you display even when no one's watching. Because in the end, the greatest prize isn't success. It's transformation. Success without personal evolution is empty. Wealth without purpose is just expensive distraction. But when you combine vision, discipline, and purpose, you become unstoppable. You need more decision. You don't need more answers. You need to ask the right questions. Why am I here? Who am I refusing to keep being? What am I willing to sacrifice for who I want to become? Those questions open portals. They pull you out of the surface. They push you into the depth of your soul. Because deep down, you already know. You've already heard the calling. You've already had glimpses of the life you could be living, but now is not the time to dream. It's time to decide. Decision is the breaking point between who you've been and who you were born to be. But pay attention. Real decision comes with sacrifice. You're going to have to leave things behind. There are versions of you that cannot go with you to the next level. They'll scream, they'll resist, they'll say, stay here a little longer where it's safe. But too much safety is the price of mediocrity. You won't change your life if you keep trying to please everyone. You won't change your life if you keep asking for permission to dream big. You won't change your life if you keep carrying the fear of failure like it's some sacred anchor. You need to tear up the contract you signed with stagnation. Tear it up with force, with decision, with holy rebellion. That righteous indignation that rises from within and screams, I was born for more than this. This is the moment. And don't think it's too late. History is full of giants who started late. Lincoln failed at nearly everything before becoming president. Ray Kroc was over 50 when McDonald's exploded. Colonel Sanders heard over 1,000 no's before the world tasted his chicken. They weren't special, but they made uncommon decisions. It's not about age. It's not about where you came from. It's about where you're determined to go. And to go further, you need clarity. Without clarity, life becomes a drifting boat. You wake up every day and row in, but you don't know where to. And those who don't know where they're going, any distraction will do. Do you want to change your life? Then define what changed life means to you. Write it. Declare it. Visualize it. See it as if it were already real. Feel yourself living it now. Because the brain doesn't distinguish dream from reality, but it needs you to feel, not just imagine. Start walking like someone who's already won. Talk like someone who's already won. Act like someone who's already won. Because identity comes before reality. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And if you're still waiting to have more in order to become more, you've got the order reversed. First you become, then you receive. That's the key to true transformation. Life doesn't reward intention. It rewards action aligned with identity. And that requires discipline. Without discipline, you go back to old patterns at the first stumble. You give up at the first no. You retreat when comfort calls. But with discipline, you create consistency. And consistency builds character. And character builds destiny. Do you want to change your life? Then stop acting based on your mood and start acting based on your purpose. You don't train a champion only when they feel excited. They train especially when they don't. Because they've understood that emotion is temporary, but decision is permanent. It's the decision that sustains the effort when motivation runs out. And if you want to be free, here's a hard truth. Discipline sets you free. Freedom without discipline destroys you. You can have a life of financial, emotional, and spiritual freedom, but only if you master the art of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And do you know what the greatest trap of our time is? The idea that you should only do what makes you happy. False. You should do what makes you grow. Because growth is the path to true happiness. Sometimes growth hurts. Saying no hurts. Being alone hurts. Studying while others are having fun hurts. But all of that hurts less than looking in the mirror and realizing you wasted your potential. Because at the end of the day, the pain of discipline weighs grams. The pain of regret weighs tons. And if you haven't changed your life yet, maybe it's because you've been running from the wrong pain. You've been running from the pain that builds and embracing the pain that destroys. It's time to reverse that. It's time to face discomfort as part of the construction, as proof that you're moving, as confirmation that you're no longer on autopilot. And when you finally move, life starts moving things for you. Doors open, mentors appear, ideas come. But none of that happens while you're standing still, waiting for everything to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of decision. Stop waiting to be ready. No one is ready until they start. Do you want to change your life? Then change yourself first. And then change your routine. Change your diet. Change your circle. Change your nightly habits. Change the way you speak to yourself. Everything is connected. You are the sum of your small daily actions. You are the result of the patterns you repeat. You are the echo of the beliefs you accepted as truth. And if you want to change the echo, change the voice, change the source, change the root. Don't wait for change to come from the outside. Because life changes from the inside out. And you're not hearing this by accident. You're hearing it because your soul has already decided to change. Now your body just needs to obey. Your habits need to align. Your actions need to prove to the universe that you're not bluffing. This is your time. You've waited too long. You've hesitated too much. You've wasted too much time. Now it's time to become who you were always meant to be. You don't need more motivation. What you need is a non-negotiable commitment to your own growth. Motivation is the spark that ignites, but commitment is what keeps the flame alive when the wind of exhaustion blows, and it will blow. There will be days when everything feels against you. There will be moments when you feel alone, misunderstood, even ridiculous for trying to change. And it's in those moments that most people stop. It's in those moments that the weak go back to the couch, grab their phone, and watch other people's lives go by. But you are not a spectator. You are the protagonist. You are the architect of your destiny. And you don't build a cathedral by taking a break after laying each stone. You build it with sweat, with focus, with unshakable faith, even when everything around screams that it's impossible. You know what the truth is? The world doesn't believe in your potential until you prove that you do. The universe doesn't make way for those who doubt themselves. It bends before those who walk as if they've already won. Not out of arrogance, but out of conviction, and that conviction, it's born from clear vision, from seeing where you want to go with such clarity that nothing else matters. You stop getting distracted. You stop self-sabotaging. You stop comparing, because you finally understand. Success is not a finish line. It's a lifestyle. It's a daily decision. It's a way of existing in the world with purpose, direction, and courage. Courage to say no when everyone else says yes. Courage to keep going without applause. Courage to start over from scratch if necessary, because you know that what you carry inside is worth more than anything outside. But here's the hardest part. You're going to lose people along the way. Some won't understand your change. They'll laugh, criticize, mock, doubt, and that's okay. It's not your job to convince them. It's your job to shine so brightly, build so powerfully, win so completely, that they'll have no choice but to respect you. But don't do it for revenge. Do it for you. Do it for your future. Do it for your mission. You were born with a purpose. You're not here just to pay bills, complain about Mondays, and die full of regrets. You were made to impact, to build, to transform. And every time you settle, you betray that calling. Every time you procrastinate, You delay the miracle that only you could bring into the world. Every time you stay silent, the world misses your unique voice, but you can change that. Now. Today. Stop looking for external motivation. Build your own inner fire. The one that doesn't go out. The one that burns even in dark days. The one that gets you back up when everything else says give. Up, that fire is called purpose. That's what sustains. That's what lifts. That's what gives meaning even to the suffering. Do you think Thomas Edison didn't have nights of doubt as he failed over 1,000 times? Do you think Walt Disney didn't cry in the dark after being rejected by studios that told him he wasn't creative? Do you think Henry Ford wasn't called crazy for dreaming of a machine that everyone could drive? They heard the criticism. They were discredited. But they didn't stop because their vision was louder than the outside noise. They saw before it was visible, and you need to do the same. See your victory. See your freedom. See your transformation. See it so clearly that the impossible feels ashamed to challenge you. You won't win by accident. You'll win because you decided, because you acted, because you burned the bridges of doubt and built the roads of faith. This is the reason your life hasn't changed yet. You were waiting for permission. Permission from others. Permission from the perfect timing. Permission from your fear to go silent. But now you know. There is no permission. There's only the decision to be non-negotiable with your future. You already have everything you need. The strength, the potential, the capacity, the flame. Now all that's missing is the courage to start. The courage to persist. The courage to transform until the world bows to your new self. And when that happens, you'll look back and smile. Not because it was easy, but because it was worth. Every tear, every sacrifice, every silent night believing in yourself when no one else did. You'll understand that the price of change was never as high as the cost of staying the same. And in that moment, you'll know with absolute certainty, you were born for this, you were born to win, and now you've finally chosen to live like it. So now, don't close this video and go back to your old life. Don't close this tab and bury the fire that just lit up inside you. You made it this far because your soul is screaming for change. And this video didn't appear in your life by accident. This was a calling, a reminder, a push from the universe saying, wake up, rise, rise with courage, rise with purpose, rise like someone who's tired of surviving and has finally decided to live with intensity, with direction, and with destiny. Now share this message with someone who needs to wake up. Be the echo that awakens another soul. Be the impact that changes a story. And if the voice you heard here today and this flame, this strength, this faith resonated inside you, then don't go away. Subscribe now to the Zig Ziglar Motivation channel. This is your sacred space. This is the place where giants are reborn, where every video is a reminder that you are not alone, that victory is possible, and that you were born for more. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and join thousands of souls who, just like you, decided to stop watching life go by and started building the life they were born to live. Because here, at Zig Ziglar Motivation, we don't inspire for trend. We inspire to transform, to set free, to win. And from today on, you are part of this. Don't go back to sleep. Don't retreat. Subscribe, share, and start now living like someone who came to leave a mark on the world. You were born for this. And now, you are ready.